Hello and good evening from St. Louis Park. I'm Bruce Hoburn along with Keith Williams and Katia Dragotis, and tonight the St. Louis Park Orioles face the Cooper Hawks, and for the Hawks they come in at 3-1. The St. Louis Park Orioles 2-2, and a beautiful night for football as the temperatures right about 75 degrees at game time, and you can see a little bit of a wind, which should not really be a factor in this game. And we have Katia, who's down on the field, our sideline reporter for tonight's game. We're going to just go down to Katia here for a second and get Katia's view of what's happening. It looks like we have a great crowd here tonight, Katia.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. We're actually going to interview with Coach Ben Wolf real quickly here, kind of see the focus on the game. I know it's going to be kind of a tough one tonight, but we're here at home. So here comes Coach Wolf. Thanks, Coach. Good, how are you? So you've had a great couple weeks, winning a couple of games here. Cooper's a tough team, though. What's going to be the focus tonight?
The focus tonight is really playing our game, taking care of the ball, getting them off on defense, really having our defense play well, finishing on drives on offense, and winning the battles on special teams.
How do you guys plan on containing Levante Taylor? I know he's a big player for them.
He's a good player. You got to tackle him. Got to get there. Got to swarm the ball. Got to get guys hustling to the ball in every single play. Got to get him to the ground. That's the key.
You guys had 3 interceptions last week. What area do you think that your team has improved on most over the last couple of weeks?
I think you said it. Defense really has improved, stepped up, getting takes away, getting stops. Also special teams. The special teams, the defense has improved. Offensively, we continue to score points, and we're going to stick to our game plan with that tonight.
Great. Seems like your team is really healthy tonight. Good luck tonight. Thanks. Bruce, so you heard it there. I mean, it's gonna be a tough one, but I think they can do it.
Well, it is, and Cooper 3-1, and their last game they lost was to Chanhassen, went down to the wire, and Chanhassen beating Cooper in that game, and so that game ended at a 34-30 loss for Cooper. Cooper had the lead through most of the game, and I'm sure Cooper is going to be out to revenge that loss.
Yes, I actually spoke with one of the Cooper coaches beforehand, and he did tell me, he said last week's loss was kind of humbling, and he wasn't glad they lost, but thought it was a humbling experience for his players, and they're going to come out here extremely hungry and ready to get back on track.
And Katia, not only you mentioned Taylor, but there's some really fast players on this Cooper team. Many people, I have not seen Cooper play yet this year, but people that I've talked to who have been at the Cooper games have said the speed on Cooper is something to watch for, and I think that's something we're going to see tonight, how St. Louis Park matches up against the speed of the Cooper Hawks.
Definitely. I mean, I've noticed just watching them warming up, they seem very athletic, very organized. They seem like they have their heads on straight tonight, but St. Louis Park's been really improving every single game.
And Katia, you don't need gloves tonight.
I don't, thank God. I love it. This will probably be the last game that you'll see me without a parka on, but we'll embrace it while we got it.
As we mentioned, warm. We'll see if that has any effect on tonight's game. We should have Keith Williams joining me here in just a few minutes, and so, well, I think we're going to take a break here, and we should be able to come back. And okay, we're not taking a break.
Well, we can kind of, go into last week's game. I know there's a couple notes from last week's game. Jamin Smith he didn't play last week, and he's back on the field dressed. I know he had some concussion symptoms after that homecoming win. So sat out last week. We'll see him on the field tonight. Should be a nice addition. Seems like a pretty healthy team tonight. Hopefully they can stay that way.
Katia, that's a good point. And, St. Louis Park, we'll see how their offense plays against this Cooper defense. Logan Romero's had a great year so far, completing over 50% of his passes, so it'll be very interesting to see how he performs tonight.
Yeah, and, Trenton Stafford, again, continues to be a standout player every single game. He's only a junior. Logan Romero's only a sophomore, so great things to come this coming years. And, again, last week, Xavier Lawson had 95 yards rushing, and he's another player to watch out for tonight.
Yeah, and Lawson getting more carries with Smith being out last week. So it looks like the Orioles have had a lot of versatility in their running backs. And as you mentioned, you have Stafford, Lawson, and Smith. Those are 3 guys that can take the ball to the house.
Yeah, another great thing to see on warm-ups this morning was it seems that there's a new kicker on the Orioles team. So hopefully we can improve from that homecoming game in our picks.
Yeah, we saw in the homecoming game, we saw St. Louis Park elected to do a lot of squib kicks, and that was Warner doing the kicking in that game. And I believe this game will be Malik Graves, and we'll see if he can pin Cooper a little bit deeper in their own territory.
Yeah, definitely.
Another good crowd tonight. Not as big as the homecoming crowd, but still a good crowd. And even Cooper has a good crowd.
Yes.
You know, when you have temperatures like this, just perfect night for football.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of it, because I'm sure in a week we're going to see some snow.
Well, the big thing tonight, too, to watch for, and did games last year when it was a little bit warmer as well, is players tend to cramp up. And so we'll see if that has any effect on the game. Both teams do have some players that will play on both sides of the ball, and as the game wears on, that could have a factor on some of those players.
Yeah, and we did see some cramping at that first homecoming game too. So, and that wasn't even that warm. It was definitely chillier that night. So that could definitely play a factor on both ends of the field tonight.
So we're gonna, as we get ready for the national anthem, starting lineup for St. Louis Park in tonight's game will be Logan Romero at quarterback. Jameen Smith will be the running back. Wide receivers Michael Howard, Jarrett Walsh, and Trenton Stafford. The tight end Austin Nelson. On the line will be Donahue, Warner, Wilkinson, Piper, and Rounds. Another great job by the band tonight here at St. Louis Park as we are live on ParkTV 16. Katie, a lot of excitement from the fans. St. Louis Park went through a winless season last year, and with 2 straight wins, and not only they were convincing wins, and it's gotten some of the fans really excited. I've been around town a few places, and people have come up to me really excited about the St. Louis Park Orioles football team this year.
Yeah, that's great to hear, because I know they've had a lot of struggles in the past. Last homecoming win was their first one in 12 years. So hopefully they can get this program rolling, and Coach Wolf seems great. He seems to have a lot of confidence in his players. Again, they seem to have a younger team, so hopefully to continue this. And while I'm looking into the crowd tonight, I see a lot of the younger Oriole football players, maybe the 5th and 6th graders. So,
you know, I'm saying I can't really see it right now because Big Keith has stepped into the broadcast booth, and Keith all dressed up in orange today. So
yeah.
he's wearing St. Louis Park orange. Hey, Keith, how are you?
Good. When in Rome, wear orange.
Keith, nice night for football.
Beautiful night for football.
So we see the lineups being announced on the field. For the St. Louis Park Orioles on offense, they play 3 seniors. That'll be Joe Warner, DJ Wilkinson, and Rhett Piper. Also 4 sophomores, Romero, Smith, Howard, and Donahue, which is really exciting to know that these players are going to be coming up and for another couple years.
Absolutely.
And that's what the Orioles have lacked in the past, is having the young players that can perform at the level that right now some of these sophomores and juniors can perform.
And I think, Bruce, that's the last couple of years that we talked about these guys just maturing, biting to the coach's football system, and it seems to be working right now.
Cooper Hawks, they also come in with a fairly young lineup. I think they'll play 4 seniors on their starting offense. Their quarterback tonight will be number 7, Phil Howard. The running back, as Kadia had talked to Coach Wolf about, is Levante Taylor. Levante Taylor having a great season so far, has carried the ball 84 times for 644 yards. That's an average of 7.7 yards per carry. So we're going to see a lot of Levante Taylor and Phil Howard. The wide receivers, Jordan Marshall and Thomas Hall, and Jared Nelson. The tight end, Armani Smith. The offensive line is Jalen Johnson, Tony Madison, Will Wright, Great Agboru, and Eric Aboje.
Yeah, speaking of Taylor, I mean, he's a 6'3" receiver. For this division, he's really towering over a lot of the players, him standing next to him.
Well, St. Louis Park will kick off to start the game. They'll be going from left to right on our screen. St. Louis Park in the dark black uniforms, the home uniforms, and Cooper in the white and orange. Malik Graves will do the kicking. Taylor and Howard back to receive the kick. High kick.
Short kick.
Fielded at the 30-yard line and brought down right away by the Orioles. Good pursuit as Jordan Marshall fielded that one at the 30-yard line and got to about the 33. So Cooper will start 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Here's the Cooper offense.
Brought down by Stafford from the Orioles. Brings up 1st and 10 for the Hawks.
We'll have the Orioles defense here in just a second.
So the bunch formation on the short side of the field.
Yeah, trips to the near side. Quarterback keeps it. So that's Howard taking the ball.
And a nice game tackle by St. Louis Park.
Howard stayed on his feet, but not before he got 5 yards. Defense for the St. Louis Park Orioles. Defensive line is Alex Crary, Josiah Morrow, Mike Donahue, and Duncan Rayner. The linebackers, Dolly Kaplan, Kyle Rettelsheimer, and Xavier Lawson. Defensive backs are Michael Howard, Devindra Budram, Tavian Malone, and Jerry Samaya. And off this time is Levante Taylor, and Taylor right about at the 1st down marker. They're gonna call it about a yard short here, Keith.
Yep. It's a big 3rd down for St. Louis Park right now, Bruce, to hold these guys and get them off the field. Watch out for that big wide receiver, Jordan Marshall, they have out there at the 6'3". Make sure you don't throw a jump ball out to him. Nice option. Oh, they had him in the backfield.
That was Taylor. A spin move, got out of it, and was able to break to the right side as he reversed his field and got to the 48-yard line.
Great run.
Again, you can see the elusiveness of Taylor as it looked like the Orioles had him for a loss, and that would have been a big 3rd down play for the Orioles. Watch this one more time here. Inside handoff. And Jerry Samea just missing that tackle.
As we talk about these boys with that Taylor, looks like you got to wrap him up. You can't arm tackle that guy because he'll break you free from those things and make big yards.
From the 48-yard line. Almost looked like Taylor may have jumped early, but no call. And nice gain off the right side of the line to the 46-yard line. Already 3 carries in the game for Taylor. Howard completing 45% of his passes, back to pass, rolls to the near side, has a player wide open,
Oh, wow.
and just over the hands of number 34, Armani Smith.
Wow, St. Louis Park got lucky there. He go through that number 34 guy out there.
Yeah, and that was a tough throw because Howard was rolling to his left, had to throw across his body, but still, he had plenty of room, margin for error that time, and Armani Smith, that's just over his head.
Brings up 3rd and 4 on the Hawks.
So 3rd down 4 now for the Cooper Hawks.
Again, St. Louis Park has to stay contained and wrap up on these guys because these guys are elusive, like you said earlier, Bruce. Stop these guys on 3rd down.
Melvin Newborn lines up to the far side and rolling to the near side under pressure. Howard, and again, there's a play where you have to force them to the inside.
Yep, we were just talking about that. Stay contained, push them back to the inside. In the last 2 plays that we've seen these guys pick up 1st downs, they let them come outside and they gain an easy 1st down. Contain, contain, contain.
Yeah, Stafford came up that time and just took too much of an inside route and allowing them to get the 1st down.
And Bruce, again, when you got guys like this on this Cooper offensive team that got good feet and got good hips and they can go lateral, you have to stay outside, contain on these guys.
We mentioned the speed of Cooper Hawks. Here you're seeing the speed, and St. Louis Park has got to contain them. Back to pass, Howard.
Oh.
And again, it eludes 1 tackle, throws on the run, and it's complete. Breaking the tackle is a touchdown for Cooper, number 11, Thomas Hall. They made it look easy that time, Keith.
Yeah. And it's that elusiveness, avoiding a rush, stepping out of the pocket, stepping into his throw, making an easy pass to number 11 downfield for a touchdown.
45-yard play.
And again, you see Stafford go up high for the tackle. And again, you got to stay low on these elusive guys, you know, or things like that happen.
Cooper going for 2 here. And again, fairly easy run that time.
Yeah.
Number 28, Alonzo Holly, looked like.
Only on the carry for the 2-point conversion.
Again, on the replay, as you see there, Bruce, just another missed arm tackle on the quarterback. They had him, but these guys got to wrap up with 2 hands and trying to grab these guys with 1 hand, or they're going to have a long night ahead of them.
And there was a case where missed tackles make a big difference. The Orioles looked like they had stopped Cooper. It would have been a 4th down play. They probably would have had to punt, but missing those tackles, and all of a sudden Cooper's able to come up with the big play.
And it's just reminiscent of a couple years ago, or even last year, we've seen these guys that are a little bit younger doing the exact same thing. In the last game I watched these guys play with you, Bruce, these guys were wrapping up, and you know everybody was getting to the ball, and they just had to go back to that game.
That kick's going to go out of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. There's a nice kick. One of the things that we've noticed a couple times was that spot right around the 20-yard line was wide open on the left side, so they went back to that play again with a different receiver.
There's just a miscue on the other side, and again, that's just miscommunication between the safety and the cornerback on that side.
I don't normally say that this is a big possession, but really for momentum of this game, I think this is a big possession for St. Louis Park.
Absolutely.
It's their first possession of the game. In motion, Smith. Smith gets a handoff, goes over to the left side, and is good pursuit by the defense as Smith goes down at the 20-yard line.
Smith on the carry for the Orioles.
You see the Cooper defense. Curtis Bell, Staple, Albert, and Watson on the defensive line. Linebackers Holly, Jackson, and Jansen. The defensive backs White, Nyangacha, McNeil, and Case Allen. Handoff straight up the middle. Doesn't go anywhere. So Cooper doing a good job containing St. Louis Park.
And it seems like, you know, Cooper's getting off the ball first and getting over the line of scrimmage, and that's where you got to win that battle. First guy over the line of scrimmage usually wins the battle. And St. Louis Park has to just do a better job at that.
So now St. Louis Park in a passing situation here. Romero, plenty of time to throw. Now the pocket collapses, steps up, throws over the middle, and it's complete.
Pass. A nice pass by Logan Romero. Didn't panic, set his feet, found his receiver. Nice pass.
Yeah, it's Ty Benny. So Ty Benny, number 12, getting the catch on that play. And great job by Romero, as you mentioned, and he didn't get happy feet that time as he stepped up in the pocket. Quick pass in the flat. Off the hands almost. That could have been dangerous. That could have almost been picked off. It's good to see Smith back in the game after he went out with the concussion in the Richfield game. He sat out the last game and is back in the lineup for the Orioles. Trips to the near side. See if they try and go to Albrecht here. In motion, and the pitch. But Cooper is doing a great job on that line. That time they sent Smith in motion, ran the option play, pitched to Smith, but nothing doing. So another 3rd and long for the Orioles. Stafford in the backfield. And the handoff goes to Stafford. Stafford breaks one tackle, breaks another, gets a block, comes to the near side, and Stafford gets the first down.
For the first down. Oh, that's going to be a close spot. Great job by Stafford. Again, keeping those feet moving, giving Cooper a taste of his own medicine. Cooper did it to them.
Boy, you watch this. He was stacked up 3 guys. Nice. There's 4.
And again, that's what we talked about, Bruce, on both sides of the ball. These young guys need to start learning to wrap up instead of arm tackle, because those things will happen.
Logan Romero made a block that sprung him to get to the outside. That's your quarterback coming up with the big block that time.
Nice job, number 10.
They're looking for Stafford. Here's a fake. Now they throw downfield, almost picked off.
Logan threw that ball a little short, a little bit more air on that ball underneath, and that thing goes for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was intended for Austin Nelson, who had to step on the defender, but as you mentioned, thrown short. And I don't think Romero saw that defender breaking underneath there. There's false start for the Orioles this time. So they'll move the Orioles back 5 yards. They'll bring up 2nd down, 15. Keith.
Yep. And you never want to see a penalty like that, you know.
The Orioles would like to see themselves in a 3rd and 3. So far they've been 3rd and 10. There's a fake handoff. There's a throw to the outside, and it's intercepted.
No, incomplete.
Nope, drop.
And again, when you get in that 2nd and long situation like that, you got to throw the ball, but you know, you still got to somehow establish that run game instead of trying to go to the pass all the time. Bruce.
Yeah, Michael Howard had the opportunity to get that one, but it was almost intercepted.
And great play by number 5, just ripping that ball out of his hands. You know, live to see another play.
So 3rd down, 15 to go. Stafford in the backfield along with Romero. As Romero barks out the signals, trips to the left side. Looking left, now right, now under pressure, and he's going to go down at the 30-yard line. Brought down by number 77, Daniel Summers.
And this is going to be a personal foul. on the Orioles.
Staple for the Hawks. Laying on the play.
Down here, guys, it did look like there was a little pushing and shoving from the Cooper side as well.
Well, Cotty, looks like they're going to march this one off against St. Louis Park. So, and it's going to bring it down back to the 18-yard line where the Orioles will have to punt the football.
And DJ Wilkinson, he just got to keep his head on that play because you kind of put your team back another 15 yards when you're already in backfield position as it is.
So Stafford standing inside the 5-yard line will do the punting. Howard to receive the punt for the Hawks. Plenty of time. Stafford could have run with that ball.
Yeah, nice punt.
There was a fumble.
From up ball.
And the Orioles have it, I think. Let's see.
Orioles have the ball. Nice job. And it's one of those things, Bruce, where number 7 just took his eyes off the ball for 1 second, muffed the punt, and the Orioles back in the ball game just like that.
Look how much time Stafford had.
Wow.
It was a nice punt.
Nice, beautiful punt. And it's one of those things where he was looking down the field, took his eye off the ball, and great coverage by the Orioles.
Yeah, that was recovered by number 23, Jerry Samea. See if that's the break the Orioles need here.
Yeah. Stafford in motion.
And they throw a screen up the middle for Smith. A nice little gain of about 4.
The ball came out for a second, but I think they called him down. Oh, yeah, the ball popped out there. I think they called him down.
I think they said the ground caused the fumble that time. Big gust of wind there, Keith. Huh?
Yeah.
Rolling to the near side, Romero.
Oh.
Got a player open, but now it's going to be picked off.
And again, he had number 3 wide open on the sideline. I don't know why he went there. Ball was short. And that's what we're seeing from Romero tonight. That ball just coming up a little short. He has to get a little bit more something on that ball because we've seen him throw a couple balls that doesn't have enough air on it. And
yeah, this is intended for Jarrett Walsh, but Nyan Gotcha had the inside position at the 14-yard line, and actually Walsh had to do a good job to bring him down.
But again, when you look at this aspect, at least they're giving the ball down on their side of the field.
Well, Romero's only thrown 3 interceptions so far this season.
And I hope what the St. Louis Park defensive coordinator or defensive coach told those boys is wrap these guys up and stay contained.
That was Taylor carrying the ball for about 3. It's been mostly Taylor and Howard running in this game.
Quarterback keep. Oh, again, another missed tackle. Come on, guys.
Yeah, that time missing the tackle that time was Alex Crary, who's usually a pretty sure-handed tackler for the Orioles.
This is a loss right here. He wraps him up. Boom, there's a loss right there. But Crary just missed the tackle. He picks up about 3 yards.
Brings up 3rd and 1 for the Hawks.
And this makes it easier for a team when you're faced with that 3rd down and 1 yard to go. It's you got a couple opportunities here and what you can call. Taylor with the run. And Taylor is stacked up. Nice play by the Orioles.
4th down, you lost some yards.
You know, that was a great defensive play by the Orioles.
And again, Bruce, that's what we talked about, that outside contain, and what they did is not let him get to the outside where he's very dangerous at.
You know, Rhett Piper got in there and made a nice play defensively for St. Louis Park, and I'm surprised Cooper's going to go for it here. They have a lot of confidence in their offense and ability to make the play. For the Orioles, they don't want to jump off sides here because it could be.
And right
Cooper
now, you want to look for
trying
number 6 and number 7. And number 7's going to keep it.
Well, it's close. I think he's got enough. Depends where they mark this one.
First down.
Yep.
First down, Hawks.
And he has to come out for a play because he lost his helmet.
So for Cooper, we're going to have number 9, Jordan Brown, in the game. And you almost knew he was going to hand off to Taylor.
Yeah.
Still, the Orioles doing a good job wrapping up on the inside.
Yes.
Brought down by
Stafford getting in on the tackle on that play.
gain of 3 on the play. Reps up second and 7.
So call it a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 for the Hawks. Thomas Hall and Anthony Smith to the near side. They're going far side.
Oh,
Incomplete.
Marshall drops the ball.
Howard's pass.
Just a quick one-step drop and the throw. Good defense by the Orioles. That time number 22, Malone.
And here we go. And again, that third and 7 situation. Bruce, want to watch these guys outside. Want to watch 6 and 7 to be my keys if I'm the defense for the Orioles, and make sure those guys don't stay out. Make sure those guys stay inside. Squeeze them all the way inside. Got a little pass play right here. Oh, and a nice strip.
No, not caught. No, the Orioles fans want to fumble, but it was not caught. It was stripped. A nice play by the Orioles, and the pass was
Howard's pass intended for Marshall. Falls incomplete.
intended for Jordan Marshall that time, and Marshall unable to hold on to it. So the first punt of the game for the Cooper Hawks. Marshall will do the punting. Michael Howard back for the Orioles. Orioles send 11. Now they set up for the return. Howard says he's going to let it go. That time he could have called a fair catch, maybe save about 7 or 8 yards, but
I think he felt the heat just a little bit. But again, a great defensive stance by the Orioles that time, Bruce. The guys start wrapping up, ripping the ball out of guys' hands, and now they got the ball back on offense. Great job, Orioles, in that defensive stance.
2 minutes, 4 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. 8-0 in favor of Cooper. St. Louis Park with their second possession here, starting from their 33-yard line. Smith in the backfield with Romero. And we're going to have a timeout, I believe.
Timeout, Orioles.
Coaches seeing something they didn't like out there and elected to call a timeout.
Hey, you see Stafford on the sideline getting a little breather, playing both sides of the ball tonight.
You know, on a night like this, when you're 75 degrees, that as the game goes on, that can wear on you.
Oh,
a little
yeah.
bit.
So, Bruce, how many games have you had like this beautiful weather this time of the year?
Not too many. Keith, you were.
I think homecoming, everybody's a little freezing down there. A girl on the sideline was a little cold. I bet she feels good tonight.
No gloves on down there, right, Katia?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm loving this. If we could just have this the rest of the season, I'd be a happy girl.
We'll play that back in a couple weeks, Katia. Howard in motion, and the handoff.
Wow, looks like
Smith.
Cooper got away with a little early jump there.
So Smith losing 3.
Tackled by Bell for the Hawks.
Curtis Bell making a nice tackle coming up from the defensive tackle position.
Curtis Bell got a nice jump on that ball right there. I'm surprised they didn't call, offsides on him.
Romero handoff straight up the middle. Breaking
Nice
one
run.
tackle, Smith.
Oh, and Smith's still going. Nice tough run. Way to keep your feet moving.
Has actually Lawson.
Lawson on the carry for the Orioles.
So nice job by Lawson.
10 on the play, brings up third and
Xavier
long.
breaking a few tackles that time. Xavier runs low to the ground. Notice he
Very
gets
low
down.
to the ground. Have you seen him coming out of there with that burst? He was very low and then came out exploding on the Cooper's defense.
Now it's 3rd and short for St. Louis Park. Hawks stacking the line, waiting for that short run, and the quarterback comes up, takes it himself.
And I think he got a
gonna be
first
short.
down.
Romero along the quarterback keeper.
It's going to be close. Maybe can call for a measurement. But looks like he got the first down from here, Bruce.
Well, if he did, that was great forward progress.
And the great thing, what he did is he came to the line, didn't see what he wanted, audibled out of the place, and got the first down. Great job, Logan.
I was waiting him for it to go back, and he took the ball and just went up. That was nice. Good call by the coaching staff on the audible there, too. Looks to Lawson, now rolls left, has room to run. Up the middle of the field is Romero. Breaks one tackle,
Beautiful
gets
run
across
by
the
Romero.
45 to the 42.
And what Romero's doing is smart now, Bruce, is he's looking down the field, he's scanning the field, he doesn't see what he wants instead of forcing the ball down the field. And with his feet and his speed, he's a big threat with the run. Great job.
Run down by St. Louis for the Hawks. That carry.
Romero with coming into the game with 29 rushes, 181 yards, averaging about 6 yards per run. And a nice first down run for Romero there inside Hawk territory. Ball spotted at the 43. Smith lines up to the right side along with Howard. And the handoff. Lawson breaks the tackle.
Breaks the tackle up. Oh!
So Lawson gets into the secondary and gets inside the 20-yard line.
Let me tell you, that boy gets low coming out of the hole and explodes through the middle. And I thought for a second Lawson was going to bounce that thing outside because he had a great block on the outside.
That's a great way to end the first quarter. You see, you didn't want to be a defender there.
No.
And, that was a nice tackle by the Hawks, Ethan White. Otherwise, Lawson may have been gone.
A freight train coming at you.
So we're through one quarter here from St. Louis Park. It's Cooper 8, St. Louis Park 0.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
Thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
this message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Katia, we're going to break down to you in just a few minutes here. We're St. Louis Park ready to snap the ball here. Back to pass, Romero breaks, steps up into the pocket, has room to run, comes to the near side, and is wrapped up out of bounds. A tough, hard tackle by John Jansen.
And again, another great run by Logan. Scans the field, looks down the field, doesn't see what he wants, pulls the ball and run, pick up positive yards, and that's what you want to do in those situations.
Gain of 4 in the play. Brings up 2nd and 6.
Second down, 6 to go for St. Louis Park. Ball at the 15-yard line. Keith, you and I talked in between quarters. This would be a big touchdown.
Huge.
If St. Louis Park can get in the end zone here. Lawson in the backfield, Romero. And the give is to Lawson. Nice move by
Whoa.
Lawson, but he was just bulldozed over that time.
Lawson on the carry for the Orioles.
Looked like an elbow to take him down.
A nice play by Cooper's middle linebacker.
Orioles hurry up to the line. Out of the no huddle. And the give again to Lawson, trying to get to the near side, and is taken down on a nice play. That was number 7 for Cooper, Philip Howard. No relation to Coach Howard.
Howard and Holly for the Hawks.
So now it's 4th down, and Orioles will probably have to go for it here, and I don't think we will see them try for a field goal. So we'll see if Romero can put this one up in the end zone. Watch for Stafford. Stafford and Howard line up on the far side.
I'll be looking for Stafford on this play.
Xavier Lawson to the near side. Back to pass, Romero. Now he throws over the head of the intended receiver, and that was number 12, Ty Benny, who had a catch earlier in the game, and the Orioles will turn it over on downs. Katia, how are you doing down there on the sidelines?
Doing great, guys. I remember at the homecoming game, Coach Wolf talked a lot about that three-headed monster, and we started to see a little glimpse of that on the end of the first quarter, so hopefully they can get that going again.
Big defensive stand for Cooper, and they now have the football back. See if the Orioles can come back with another good defensive alignment. There's a ball that bounced on the ground, thrown in the flat. Intended that time for Cooper's number 11, Thomas Hall.
Howard's pass is headed for Hall. It's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
And that's what the Orioles look like they're going to want to do, is try and force Cooper to throw the ball a little bit and keep the ball out of Taylor's hands. This is Taylor. Wrapped up nicely.
And again, I think now the Orioles defense has settled down and established themselves, and they're doing a really good job. Now the defense, or the offense, just has to figure out a way to get the ball in the end zone. And Conti is right, that three-headed monster, where we haven't seen much of that. We've seen a little bit more pass this game than we have seen run. And then the most of the running has been with Lawson, so we'll see if they start distributing the ball a little bit more.
The last tackle made by Zolly Kaplan, who did a great job coming up from the linebacker position, forcing a 3rd down and long. Deep in their own territory, back to pass. Thrown complete over the middle, wide open. Tackle made by Samea, but nice pass to Luke Peterson, number 21.
Brought down by Samaya for the Orioles. First down, Hawks.
So I'm not sure if the Orioles are playing a zone there or what, but looks like there's a lot of room between the receivers and the defenders on a couple of passes.
And nice tackle. Nice tackle.
Zolly Kaplan again. Also Boudra. So Devindra Boudram. See him chasing him from behind. Penalty flags. Pass complete at the 36-yard line.
And that's coming back. Got a hold. Illegal man downfield.
Is illegal shift?
Shift.
On the Hawks. Five-yard penalty.
Cooper Hawks scoring on their first possession on a 45-yard Hall reception from Howard. 2-point conversion made it 8-0. Both teams scoreless since that point. Back to pass, Howard has time, looking long down the field, and boy, he put a lot on that one, as that was intended for Jordan Marshall streaking down the field.
And what we didn't see, Bruce, is you got Curie down here on the sideline. Looks like he hurt his arm or something. The trainers are checking him out. You know, checking out the strength in his hands right now or his arms,
and
which
also
could be huge for them on defense tonight.
Also another penalty flag, Keith, too. And
use that as a hold.
I think St. Louis Park maybe should decline this one. Give him a 3rd down and 13 yards to go. We'll see. We've seen Cooper come up with some big plays, and interesting decision for Coach Wolf, but I think if it's a 10-yarder, he's got to take the penalty here. Oh, they are declining it. What do I know, Keith?
It's declined. Brings up 3rd and 14.
That's why we don't wear stripes, Bruce.
That's why I'm not calling the plays on the sideline either. Watch for Marshall on the near side.
Fumble. Oh,
and
nice.
Howard is going to go down.
Well, I think they made the right call. Low snap by the center. Quarterback fumbled the ball, and they came in.
Fourth down, 21 to go. Howard back to receive for the Orioles. Marshall to punt. There's a nice high punt. Fielded. Coming to the near side is Howard. Steps inside, trying to reverse his field and is taken down.
Nice, over 50, 52-yard line. Nice job by Orioles.
Tackle made that time by number 34, Armani Smith.
Brought down by 21 for the Hawks.
Almost thought he had room to the coming to the inside here. So the Orioles will start from the 48-yard line. Romero back to pass. Looks, throws in the flat, and almost intercepted that time. Very dangerous.
Wow, very dangerous
play that
throw.
time as number 15.
Romero's pass intended for Lawson is broken up by number 15.
Don't have.
Brings up second and 10.
Don't have a number on him. A nice break on the ball. Again, the Orioles, you know, the defense is giving them all the opportunities in the world. These guys have to turn around and get something out of, you know, one of these series.
Thrown to the near side. The pass is complete.
Romero's pass complete.
Ty Benny again.
Jansen on the tackle for the Hawks. Gain of 4 on the play, brings up 3rd and 6.
7:27 left here in the first half. St. Louis Park now with a 3rd down and 6. Back to pass Romero. He rolls to the far side. He's chased from behind.
Oh, you got a lot of room to run.
Cuts inside.
Nice run by
And
Romero.
a first down for Romero as he gets down to the 31.
Wow, you know, Bruce, that's the one thing. When you got a quarterback that can run and throw, they have a double threat like that. Boy, oh boy, big things can happen, and he made something happen there.
Got great speed, too.
Great speed. Again, stepped into the pocket, was smart. Didn't see what he wanted down the field. Understanding what's going on now. Picks up the first down. Nice job.
Had big number 57, Joe Albert, trailing from behind, but had a good distance from Albert. He was going to beat Albert one way or another there.
And there's Stafford.
Oh.
And we've been waiting to see him all day. You know, they haven't been giving him the ball much, and that's what Katia said on the sideline there, that 3-headed monster. You know, distribute the ball out to these guys, keep them off balance.
Well, the big thing, too, when you get those big guys like Lawson and Stafford running down the defense, that can wear down the defense as the game goes on, so you just got to keep
It's like
pounding
Shaq
it.
leaning on you in the post.
I'll tell you, that was a good tackle because Stafford had a lot of speed and a head of steam going right up the middle, and they were able to bring him down a yard short of that first down.
And now, you know, you got Stafford and Lawson out there. See what they do.
Could be almost a free play, and it is Romero, but he's going to pitch it to Lawson.
Oh, dangerous.
And, yeah, that
Lawson on the carry for the Orioles.
that play had disaster written all over
Yeah.
it. Well, I think the Orioles thought with a second down and 1 yard to go, they'd take a chance, maybe throw the football, but great pursuit by the Cooper Hawks and not allowing Romero any time to even throw the football and forcing him to just pitch the ball to Lawson. Now it's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Romero has pressure, looks up, throws, complete over
nice
the middle.
job.
That's
Nice
Garrett Walsh.
for the great completion.
And another great job by Romero. He steps up inside the pocket, has pressure from behind him.
Steps into the pocket with pressure behind him, and again, he's just patient. He stepped into the pocket, which was the biggest thing, and didn't get happy feet. Nice completion.
This is a sophomore. This isn't a senior.
Wow.
And
impressive.
Right.
The coach should be happy and excited he got this kid for 2 more years after this.
Stafford in the backfield. In motion, Smith. The handoff. This goes Stafford, breaks inside. Could go. Gets down to the zone.
And there it is. I've been waiting to see that all night. Bruce Stafford. Last time I seen this kid play on homecoming night, he had a huge game on the offensive defensive side of the ball, and there you go, you see it again. Great job, the Orioles, with a nice touchdown run.
Good job by the offensive line here, opening the hole for Stafford, and once he got through that hole, he was
boy, oh boy, it parted like the Red Sea, and he ran right through there untouched and just pulled him down on the goal line.
Yeah.
Again,
Ja'Kai McNeil was the only guy back there that had a shot at him.
And I don't think he wanted to really hit him because he ended up on his back.
Orioles will go for 2 out of the I formation. Smith in the backfield. Handoff is Smith over the right side. He's pushing, but not going to make it. The Orioles denied, and
for the 2-point conversion is no good.
But the Orioles come up with a touchdown and have cut the lead to 2 here with 5:04 to go in the first half.
You know, Bruce, I don't know, in that situation, when you have a guy back there like Lawson who can stay low to the ball, I don't know why they wouldn't give it to him on that situation.
So big touchdown for St. Louis Park. They're back in this football game. They trailed 8-0. Now it's 8-6. They will kick off with 5 minutes to go in the half. Malik Graves. High kick. Fielded by Marshall at the 20. And Marshall is brought down. What nice, a great special teams play by St. Louis Park.
Great job.
Run down by Samaya for the Orioles. First down, Hawks.
Well, the Orioles have definitely come to play tonight.
Oh, yeah, they've come to play tonight. Special teams and defense have been doing a great job for the Orioles tonight. Offense has now stepped in a little bit, and we'll see what they do in this.
Look at this orange. We got, this isn't for Cooper. This is St. Louis Park.
That's right. Get it straight. It's not for Cooper. I walked in the stadium, and I was a little confused with all the orange today.
Back to pass thrown, complete to Marshall on the near side. Breaks one tackle, stays on his feet, and is pulled out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
A nice little run by number 19.
Jordan Marshall, the senior. And again, a lot of room. You see about a 5-yard window there.
Wrap up, wrap up, wrap up.
And the tackle was made by Ron Brown, number 24. There's a Howard. Howard eludes one tackle. Couple tackles, and as Alex Prairie was back in the game and missed the second tackle, but Orioles did a good job to wrap him up in open field after a gain of 4.
Brings up 2nd and 6 for the Hawks.
Again, Taylor not getting the ball. They throw it into the flat. It's complete, and another missed tackle. Giving Thomas Hall an opportunity to get the first down.
And again, Bruce, what we're seeing again is them going back to it. The missed tackles is which is they're giving Cooper opportunities after the ball is catched.
You watch this, it's just sort of
there's one.
Almost a stutter step, and really the Orioles just have to force them to the inside, and they're able to get the tackle. and avoid the big play. But again, that pass in the flat's been open pretty much all game so far.
I think the defensive coordinator has to recognize that and somehow counter it somehow.
Taylor breaks one tackle, tries to get to the outside, breaks another one. There we're seeing the elusiveness of Taylor, and he gets down to the 25.
Wow, great feat by Taylor.
Nice run by Levante Taylor.
He just stays low. They can't. I think he's so little they can't see him.
Michael Howard missing the tackle, and then finally brought down by the Orioles, Alex Curry. Clock starts. Taylor's going to get it again.
A nice stop by the Orioles there.
Wrapped up by Joe Warner that time.
We're a little bit worried about Curry on the sidelines, but he's back in the game. Another play.
Joe Warner's going to have his helmet off. He's going to have to come to the sideline. Warner will be replaced by number 58, Rhett Piper. Howard barks out the signals. Back to pass. Howard looks downfield. Has a receiver down there, and along with the Orioles.
Nice coverage.
Yeah, it was great coverage by Tavian Malone.
Yeah.
Step for step with the receiver.
And he would have to run through him to make that catch, and he was right there on his hip. And great play, nice coverage.
Yeah, you can see the Hawks trying to get the ball to Jordan Marshall. He's the big playmaker on offensive wide receiver.
And, you know, I think what they're trying to do is with his height, that 6'3" height, get that ball up in the air, you know, and make him battle for it up in the air.
Jared Nelson in now as wide receiver for Cooper, lines up to the far side.
Good third down play right here.
Fake. Looking to the near side, stepping up in the pocket is Howard. Now he broke the tackle, has open field, goes to the corner, and he's going to be in for a touchdown.
And again, and one of those things we talked about, that containment. That containment's killing them tonight in those missed tackles, because they had him in the backfield. If you watch his replay, they had this kid in the backfield, and this missed tackle is not wide. That's sideline over there wide open, run to the open side of the field.
And what they're doing is they're reversing their field. So they start right, stop.
And sucks everybody in. Coming over here
and
to
now
the right
here.
And nobody's there.
And it was actually good blocking, too, by Cooper to spring him free. So Cooper quickly gets that back. And
the flag, I think it was taunting on Cooper. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
The question is, can you take this on the kickoff? And they'll do it on the two-point conversion there. Actually, are they going to call it no touchdown?
Touchdown stands. They're just going back
it's just on the conversion. And this is big, too, because right now it's a 8-point game. So if you can stop them and get a touchdown in the two-point conversion, you tie this game up.
Absolutely. It's not a smart play by Cooper there.
Back to pass, Howard. He's going to throw to the near sidelines, incomplete. Katia, did you have a chance to see what happened to result in the penalty?
You know, there was a couple players blocking my view, but I'm really kind of up in the air. I'll see if I can get the word on the field.
What happened was, remember, the quarterback was pointing at one of the players when he was going to end zone, taunting them.
We have a replay.
And you'll see him right here when he comes to the sideline, he just starts pointing at the players, and you just can't do that.
(14-6), Hawks lead.
So he must have said something that the referees heard that we couldn't hear to get that penalty.
2:21 to go till halftime. St. Louis Park now still only trailing by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Marshall to kick off. We haven't seen a kickoff return go all the way for the Orioles. Let's see if there's a fumble. Malone takes it up across the 25-yard line. So Keith, with 2:15 to go, the Orioles want to be a little aggressive, but also be careful that they don't change the momentum and turn the ball over.
And Logan Romero he has to do what he's been doing so far in this game, Bruce, and that's scan the field downfield, see if you have something in pass, because obviously you have to open up the pass game a little bit in the 2-minute offense. And if not, pull it, run, and try to get the first down and call a timeout.
And the handoff. This is Stafford. Has an opening. Stafford comes to the inside.
Get out of bounds. Get out of bounds.
And he stays inbounds, I think, at about the 45. But a first down will allow the Orioles to get set up. One thing Stafford does is he'll, push the defenders away, stiff arm the defenders.
Kid.
Clock starts, 2 minutes and counting. And now we have a stoppage. Cooper will take a timeout here. So Cooper using their first timeout here in the first half. Glad we're not in the second half.
Yeah.
Orioles need a little time here to tie this game up.
Exactly. And I think, again, what Katya said earlier about that three-headed monster, now you're seeing Stafford run the ball with Larson, Logan in the game passing, get number 2 in the ball game, Smith, and now they got something going. And they just got to keep them off balance like that. You just can't go to one all the time, which you've seen a lot before, Bruce, when they're going to Larson. But now that they start distributing the ball and spreading it out on offense a little bit more, they're catching this Cooper team a little bit more off balance.
Well, and the other thing that does, too, is it allows them to do a play-action pass because as you start running the ball a little bit more, they're going to contain the running game and give Romero a little bit of time to throw the football.
And remember, Stafford is a threat out of the backfield as well, so send him out of the backfield, do a pass route, it would be huge too.
This is Smith. Over the line, it gets back across the original line of scrimmage to the 48-yard line. That's a play that hasn't worked so well for St. Louis Park because they start so far back with that handoff.
Yeah.
It's almost
in my 2-minute offense,
it's almost like a Statue of Liberty when they start that far back. This is Lawson trying to get off right tackle. And he is stacked up at the 49.
The problem with these running plays, Bruce, is that they're chewing up at that clock. Even if they threw the ball and it was an incomplete pass, he just stops the clock.
Well, I think now with third down and about 6 yards to go, the Orioles want to let the clock go down a little bit. They get the first down, then they'll use the timeout here. If not, they're hoping that they're not going to give Cooper too much time. Back to pass. Romero under pressure, steps up, and he's going to go down at the 44-yard line. And now Cooper will probably take a timeout. So with 44 seconds, Cooper now uses their second timeout. Looked like Keith, the Orioles got a little too safe at the beginning of that on first and second down, and then we're forced into a third down passing situation, and that gave Cooper the opportunity to put pressure on the quarterback.
Exactly. Especially on second down, you want to throw the ball again, because if it's an incomplete pass, at least you're not chewing at the clock and the ball stops, and then you can run another play. What happened was they ran the ball 3 times and chewed up the clock, and now they're in a tough situation right now.
Have to be very careful here on the snap. Interesting formation here. Looking like they're going to go for it. Maybe just trying to draw them off sides here. It wouldn't be a first down, but and St. Louis Park will take a timeout.
Timeout, St. Louis Park Orioles.
I think trying to confuse Cooper, never an intention of snapping the ball there unless Cooper were to jump off sides. But again, an offsides would not have been a first down, but now they'll bring their punter in to punt the football.
And I think the situation they're looking at right now is not forcing something to get a turnover and knowing that they're going to get the ball in the second half, starting off the game.
So Stafford does come in to punt the football.
But again, you got to be very careful. It's still 45 seconds left on the clock, and Cooper is very dangerous. What you like to see is a great punt by Stafford and make these guys turn over the ball here.
I don't know, see what happens here. Marshall standing back at the 22, penalty flag. See if Cooper may have jumped.
Stafford's punt goes out of bounds. Penalty look like.
I think St. Louis Park may have, we'll see what happens, see what the call is here. I think if it is against Cooper, St. Louis Park, now they're going to illegal procedure on the Orioles. So that play should have been just whistled dead.
Illegal procedure on the Orioles is declined. First down, Hawks.
Keith, that one must have rolled out of bounds then right around the 40.
Yeah, because you see the referee coming from way back there up to where he's at right now, hauling it out of bounds.
So the Cooper Hawks decline the penalty. They have the football with 35 seconds thrown, intended for Marshall.
And again, that's what I was talking about. You know, they have the opportunity again when we were talking about Bruce. Is what they did is they came out and passed the ball and stopped the clock. You know, so that's what we were hoping that the Orioles did when they got that ball, but they chose to run.
Marshall opened that time too. One timeout left for the Hawks. 32 seconds here in the first half. Hawks lead 14-6. Back to pass Howard.
Let's make sure nobody gets
no
behind
pressure,
them.
throws and complete. Out of bounds is Marshall at the 49-yard line.
Now what the DBs and these safeties have to do is just make sure nobody gets behind them. Stafford out there playing center field right now, and those safeties got to just make sure that nothing comes across the middle and that they stay deep.
Marshall on the right side this time. And this is timeout for Cooper. This will be their third timeout, so. Looked like Marshall took a while to try and get up to the line. I don't know if he knew what the play was.
I don't think he knew what the play was because he was moving all over the place.
My guess, they called his number.
Yeah.
They've been throwing to Marshall. Marshall with 2 catches for 26 yards in the game. Keith, you want to pretty much play a prevent defense here with 27 seconds, no timeouts left for Cooper.
Absolutely. You know, their big threat is Marshall, who they got the ball to the last few times. That 6'3" frame. You just want to make sure you're not in a jump ball situation and nothing coming across the middle of the field.
Back to pass. Thrown and
Nice.
almost intercepted.
A nice play by number 24. Got right in the quarterback's passing lane, put a hand up, knocked the ball down. Great. And that's what we were talking about, Bruce. Again, nothing in the middle, no post routes or anything like that.
So Ron Brown defending that one, and they'll bring up a second down, 10 yards to go, with now 22 seconds to go. Watch for the far side. Marshall, now they throw it to the near side. Caught, staying in bounds.
And they'll have no timeout, so this is worse than Orioles' favor.
Well,
Oh,
yes and no.
down.
It's a first down. If they would have held them short, Smith was the receiver on that, and because they were short, made the first down, the clock doesn't start till now. A little extra time ran off the clock there, but
False start on the offense.
do they run off any time in high school? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think the offensive line was set when the quarterback came, when Howard came from underneath.
Well, look,
there.
they start the clock now. Cooper unaware of that. 3 seconds. And the time runs out. Cooper was in their huddle. And when they placed the ball after the penalty, they started the clock. And Cooper does not have the opportunity to go for the Hail Mary at the end of the half. Katie, we're going to see if you have an opportunity to get Coach Wolf here.
Yeah, we'll see if he's willing to chat for a couple minutes before they head to halftime chat.
Keith, I think St. Louis Park has to feel fairly fortunate just to be down by 8 here.
Absolutely.
As the coaching staff heads over towards Kadia's direction, we'll see before we break if we can get Coach Wolf on the mic for a quick comment.
All right, guys, I got Coach Wolf here. Coach, we saw a couple plays offensively, some breaks in there. What do we got to do to get the three-headed monster going tonight?
That's a good point. We just got to keep giving the ball. I mean, we just got to keep finding different ways to get him the ball in space and keep pounding the rock, really is what it comes down to. I mean, we're doing a good job. At times, we got to find a way to finish when we're close and keep giving him the ball.
Sounds great. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kadia.
Great job, Kadia.
Keith, your observation of the first half and what St. Louis Park needs to do from your perception.
From my perception, I think that that you need to use Lawson and Stafford a little bit more. I would put both of those guys in the backfield. Other than that, Logan's doing great. Their defense is doing great. Their special teams doing great. They just got to find a way to get into the end zone.
All right, Keith, we're at halftime here from St. Louis Park. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the second half shortly.
This could be a bicycle. Or a bat. This could be a robot. Or an airplane. This could be a playground. This could be a book bag. Or a soccer ball. This could be a book. This could be beautiful. This cannot be trash. This can all be recycled. Learn more at thiscouldbe.org.
Bruce, Keith, and Kadia back here for the second half. 14-6 the score. Cooper leads. And statistics here in the first half for St. Louis Park. Romero, Keith, was 4 of 10, 36 yards, 1 interception. Seemed like he may have had more yards than that, but that's all he had. So, and then rushing, St. Louis Park had 117 yards rushing, led by Stafford with 51 yards. Romero had 33, and Lawson had 33. Smith with only 2 yards on 4 carries. Receiving in the game, Stafford 1 for 20, Smith 2 for 6, and Benny 1 for 10. For Cooper, Howard was 6 of 11, 100 yards and a touchdown. Taylor rushing, carried the ball 11 times for 50 yards, Keith. So St. Louis Park has done a good job on Taylor, allowing, with only a 5 yard per carry. Also, Howard has carried the ball 4 times for 25 yards, so 90 yards rushing for the Cooper Hawks. Leading receiver in the game, Hall, has caught 2 passes for 51 yards. Marshall, 2 for 26. And looks like Peterson had 1 for 11.
And again, except for that big run by Taylor, they pretty much, had this kid contained besides that big run. So we'll see if they could still hold him inside. Again, what we talked about earlier, Bruce, is that outside containment by the outside linebacker and that end hold him backside, because all their plays are coming from backside and they're getting them sucked in and they just beat them to the other side of the field. And that's where they get their big plays at right now.
Cooper scoring first on a 45-yard reception. St. Louis Park came back with a 16-yard run by Stafford. Then Howard, a 26-yard run, made it 14-6. Katia?
Yeah, guys, I think Cooper is pretty frustrated with their first half performance, and I think they're looking to really get Taylor moving a little bit more here. The defense has done great, in my opinion. I think St. Louis Park has really held on to everything that they've got.
Absolutely. They've done a great job on defense. Now the offense, when they get the ball, they got to start putting this ball in the end zone as the defense continue to hold them, and they're also playing very well on special teams.
So the Orioles will start with the football as Cooper will kick off here to start the second half. Marshall's one of those do-it-all players, and he will kick off for the Hawks. Fumbled, picked up by Smith. There's a block. Smith trying to get to the near side. Now reverses the field, and he's just going backwards down to the 15-yard line. Good special teams work by the Cooper Hawks that time. Well, Katia mentioned to Coach Wolf about the 3-headed monster, and Keith, you talked about it a little bit too at halftime, and we'll see if the Orioles make some adjustments here. Starting deep in their own territory at the 15-yard line. They keep Stafford in the backfield. This is Smith in motion. Give us to Stafford. Gets on his feet.
And Stafford. When all else fails, go for the feet, baby. When all else fails, go for the feet.
What a big tackle that time by Moses Nyangacha.
He doesn't make that tackle.
He goes, I gotcha, because you don't get him.
He's
Stafford's gone. Our statistician, Mark Williams, telling me that Stafford, every time he touches the ball, it goes for over 10 yards. Here's Stafford again. This time, 3 guys, so Paul letting me know that when I make comments like that, it can go bad on the next play.
That's all. It's like saying the kicker never missed a field goal, and all of a sudden he misses.
Right. The Vikings know that all too well.
Oh, yeah.
Many years ago.
And again, that's what we talked about earlier, is putting Larson and Stafford in the backfield together. It's a big threat for these guys. And we already know that Logan's a big threat with the pass.
They faked the pass to Lawson in the flat and hand off to Stafford again. So you can see the coaching staff trying to get Stafford more involved in this offense.
Brought down by Summers for the Hawks. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 6.
The big thing for St. Louis Park was they started from their 15-yard line. That run by Stafford, so important to get it out towards, across the 30-yard line and give St. Louis Park more room to work with there.
Absolutely.
Now they line Stafford up to the near side. Let's see if they like to go to Stafford here. Rolling to the near side, under pressure. Romero steps up, eludes one tackle, breaks another one, gets across the 40 to the
Nice
45
job
and
by
47. Romero.
Boy.
Well, we've seen some missed tackles by St. Louis Park, and there's a great run by Logan Romero. As we watch this one again.
And guys, we have someone down on the field, Cooper's side. I can't see his
Number 54,
number 54.
Curtis Bell. Defensive tackle for Cooper. It's down. Again, it's one of those things, Bruce, is, the St. Louis Park got a little taste of the Coopers offense when they're doing all that shifty stuff, and then Romero comes back and gives them a taste of their own medicine.
That's Curtis Bell. God, it looks like they're moving his leg.
Yeah, possibly. Yep, it's his right leg. Possibly a knee injury here. Looks like trainers are working on that.
Again, here's a look at that
And
Romero run.
And some great blocks by the wide receivers downfield. Not to hold, not to block in the back, you know, to pick up positive yards and get the first down. And great to see Curtis Bell up and on his feet, walking to the sideline.
That play by Romero, instead of punting the ball, now you've extended the drive and now moved the ball out to the 47-yard line. So, again, can't say how big enough that elusiveness of Romero. St. Louis Park trailing by 8.
And what you see, Bruce, with Romero in this game so far is he's adjusting to the balls that he threw before, the interception that he threw before, now just pulling the ball down and running and living to see another day instead of forcing the error.
And here's Lawson. Good job by the linebacking crew of Cooper. That time Lawson got through the front line and the linebackers did a good job containing. Howard, Stafford, and Austin Nelson all on the near side.
Number 68 on tackle for Robbinsdale, who just stepped into the game for number 77.
So third down, 6 yards to go for St. Louis Park. Benny on the near side. Quarterback keeps it, Romero, and he's going to be short of the first down by about a yard.
And we got another player down for Cooper. Looks like number 56, Willie Staples.
And he's holding his left leg. And again, here's a situation where I'm not sure if that was his ankle or if he has cramps. Let's just take a look. It is warm here, and remember the Benil game we did last year, there were a couple players that kept cramping up. You can see they're tending to the left leg. See if we can see this.
It looked like one of his own players rolled up on him. Rolled on the back of his leg there.
Orioles did not get a good spot, so they were saying Romero's knee touched down at the 45-yard line. So it's going to bring up a fourth down and a long 2 yards to go, Keith, when play resumes here.
Do you punt it or you go for it? And I think coach's option to keep players on the field. I think they're going to go for it.
Really a tough call here. You know, opportunity to pin Cooper back. But for St. Louis Park, they get the first down and keep this drive going. It's going to maybe wear down this Cooper defense a little bit. Although Keith, you know, if you went to the Keith Williams School of Training, you don't get tired.
No.
You can play the whole game here.
And good to see Willie Staples on his feet.
So a couple injuries here.
A couple starters for Cooper has gone down. Yeah, Curtis Bell go down earlier. Now Willie Staples. You know, hate to see that, but to see Curtis Bell's back in the game already.
See if St. Louis Park tries the hard count here too to get Cooper to jump and get a first down. 4th down, 2 yards to go. If you're going to run the ball, I'd almost like to see Stafford back there. He's been able to get those 2-3 yards.
Yeah. You know, again, like we talked about, I'd put Stafford Larson backfield and have a lead back on one of these plays.
He's trying the hard count. You can see he's trying to see if he can draw him. Cooper not biting on this. Back to pass. Thrown over the middle, and it's incomplete. Actually, it could have been intercepted, but they were smart, saying drop the ball, don't catch it, and Cooper a better field position by doing that. That was a surprise call with the throw there.
It was a good throw. He has to come down with that ball. Nice throw.
Into triple coverage, though. It was So the Hawks with real good field position here at the 45.
And there's Taylor on the run again.
Pulled down. Stafford.
Taylor on the carry for the Hawks, brought down by Stafford for the Orioles.
Good wrap up by Stafford that time.
On the play brings out a 2nd and 6.
Gain of 4.
And I thought he was a little short. 5'5" is Taylor. His measurements.
And the give again. Taylor gets over the 50 to the 49. He's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 3. Now they're going to move it to the 48. So 3rd down and about 2 yards to go.
And again, here we go, Bruce. You got to watch this quarterback option that they like to run. And also watch Taylor on the counter play, reversing the backfield.
This is Taylor. Gets to the near side and is brought down. But I think he's going to have the 1st down. Good tackle by the Orioles, Jerry Samea. Samea has had a good game so far. We've called his number a number of times. That time Samea just getting a little bit too low where the runner could go over the top of him for that 1st down. Making sure, though, that there's no extra yards to be had. So 3 straight carries for Taylor. Now back to pass. Howard rolling left, has pressure. Good block. And Taylor stays on his feet and now is pulled down.
And nice job by the Orioles that time. They stayed contained. They didn't get sucked in and was able to make a big play on defense. Great job, Orioles.
Yeah, Zolly Kaplan making another tackle for the Orioles defense.
Brought down by Kaplan for the Orioles. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Play looked like it was going to go for a little bit more there, only a yard. So. Taylor in the backfield, handoff is Taylor. Nice gain for Taylor as he gets inside the 40-yard line. Warner making the tackle.
It was tough for these Orioles, I think, with, you know, when you look at Taylor. Taylor's, from his stats, so he's 5'5", so he's a little squatty, shifty fella. So, you know, trying to find him behind those big offensive line, sometimes trying to weed him out is a tough thing to do.
Piper comes in to replace Taylor. And the keeper by Howard. Howard has a 1st down at around the 32.
And Hall checks back into the game.
Trips to the far side. Marshall to the near side. They look on the far side. Thrown in the flat, incomplete. Pass was intended for Thomas Hall.
Intended for Hall. Ball's incomplete. On the defensive pass. Brings up second and 10.
Howard now 6 of 12 in the game.
The crowd starts to liven up a little bit.
And in motion to the near side, fumbled ball, but Howard gets it back. Nice throw to Taylor in the flat. Taylor goes to the outside. He's got room down the sideline, inside the 10-yard line.
Wow.
You know, that took a nice bounce right back into Howard's hands.
Yeah, and the great thing, the bad thing about it is blocking the back right here. You'll see him come out here on this screen pass right here. Gets a block in the back. Wow, great run by Taylor.
Well, that's when you can get Taylor into open space like that, watch out. Fumble. Pressure again. And here Howard eludes the tackle, and now he's dropped. Brought down by Orioles.
And there's something going on between
Number
the center
24.
because that's the second time we've seen that.
Right, this is Ron Brown. Well, it looked like first in there was number 50, Mike Donahue.
Yeah.
And then Brown ended up finishing off the tackle. So, but Mike Donahue shot in quick.
Again, if I'm the Orioles, I'm spying on Taylor again because he's been the threat for these guys.
Back to pass. Thrown, incomplete, off the hands of
nice coverage by number
17.
Number 17, great job.
Yeah, Melvin Newburn was intended receiver that time, and just off his hands. I think I had a great opportunity to catch that, Katia.
Yeah, guys, the sideline's really getting involved over here. They're really yelling out the plays, chanting with the crowd. They're getting hyped over here.
Got trip set.
Third down. Back to pass again. Stepping up with Howard. He's going to run it. Now he tosses it off for Taylor. And Orioles stack Taylor up at about the 5-yard line.
Howard's pass complete to Taylor. Brings up 4th and goal.
Morrow in on the tackle for St. Louis Park. See if Cooper goes for a field goal here to extend the lead, but I think they're going for it. You're right.
And right here,
the fans are standing.
Now, if you're looking right here, you're going to look for Taylor or look for the quarterback on this play. Quarterback option. Ball start on the offense, pushes them back 5 yards.
So now we'll see what Cooper does here. You know, we're seeing less and less of extra points and field goals in high school football.
Not enough kickers.
Here's a situation, too, for Cooper. If they don't get it, they have St. Louis Park pinned in their own territory. Taylor in the backfield. Howard.
Now watching Taylor on this play.
Watch Marshall to the left. Thrown and incomplete.
Incomplete. Block broken up by number 23.
I think you had 2 receivers running in the same direction, sort of running into each other. Here's a replay here, Keith. And 2 guys in the same spot, and I think that's...
Oh, they ran right into each other. Great job by the Orioles. Great defensive stop.
See if the Orioles could get a big play here on offense. Stafford in the backfield for St. Louis Park, deep in their own territory. And the give to Stafford, tries to get to the near side, breaks one tackle, stays on his feet. Gets the Orioles some nice yards out from their own end.
And again, when you can pick up 5 yards on the first down, that's a really good thing.
Stafford, a very patient runner too. That's what you call a lot of defenders.
Oh yeah.
In the tackle. In motion. And the give this time is Smith. He's had trouble throughout on that same play. He's been losing yards.
And the problem what you see there with Smith, Bruce, is he's hesitating to go through the hole. He needs to run north and south instead of east and west.
So the Orioles facing a big play here deep in their own territory. 3rd down and 7 yards to go. 1:55 left here in the 3rd quarter. In motion is Smith. Romero deep in his own territory, and he's going to go down for a safety.
On the 1 yard line.
They call it at the 1. That time you got to find a way to get rid of that football.
Just throw it away. You just held on to a little too long, and you got to know that clock in his head saying got to get that ball out of there and throw it out of bounds.
Well, Stafford's going to be backed up right at the end line to punt this football.
Stafford back to punt for the Orioles. Howard back to receive for the Hawks.
Hawks should have good field position here as Howard at the 40-yard line.
Guys, it looks like the trainers are actually looking at Romero, checking out his left elbow, so I can hope that everything's okay there. I think he went down pretty hard on that last play.
They move the football closer to the goal line. That's not going to make any. Stafford can't go any further back. Got to be careful not to step out of the end zone. And puts an end-over-end kick. This is good for the Orioles if they can contain Howard. And Howard goes down at the 40-yard line.
So for a bad situation, Stafford got off a good knuckleball kick.
You know, and Howard did a good job. Had he not fielded that one, would have brought the ball closer to midfield. So tough one to handle when you got that end-over-end ball.
And again, what you don't want to see, Bruce, in this part of the ball game is this defense going back onto the field. You know, especially with the legs that these guys from Cooper have, and the speed that they have.
Still trailing by 8. Taylor in the backfield, along with Howard. Howard back to pass, throws to the near side. It's complete. And breaking the tackle that time is Smith, as he gets inside the 30-yard line to the 28. With 26 seconds, Hawks go no huddle. Here's another pass, complete. Thomas Hall on the reception. Quick tackle by the Orioles.
And here's the Hawks going no huddle, so trying to keep the Orioles defense off balance, which is tough.
Well, the Orioles are a little bit tired. They need to get to the end of the quarter, get a little bit of breather here. And now they run the play, and getting to the outside is Taylor. And Taylor,
man, this is pretty good.
Down to the 5. So as Taylor goes out at the 4, our 3rd quarter comes to an end. St. Louis Park defensively with their backs to the wall. We're going to take a break. Our score, Robbinsdale Cooper 14, St. Louis Park 6.
The biggest dangers your pet faces are everyday dangers, like drinking from puddles, squirrels in the park, and fleas and ticks. Being a pet is risky business, but a risk assessment and wellness exam from your veterinarian twice a year can reduce disease risks and prevent problems before they become serious. Contact your veterinarian today, because being a pet is risky business. A message from the American Veterinary Medical Association and your local veterinarians.
(14-6). Orioles trail, and Keith, St. Louis Park backs against the wall here. Need to come up with a big stop. We haven't seen too many turnovers in this game. The Orioles could use one right now by Cooper.
Huge. It's a huge play for these guys right now. And again, if you're the Orioles, you got to think about number 6. He's been having an unbelievable game, and just trying to get it out of his hands or trying to stop the kid.
Cody, have you had any word on Romero?
Yeah, the trainers were kind of working on both shoulders, specifically the left one after that last hard play. But it looks like he's fine. They cleared him, and I think we're good on him.
Looks like he's holding his left hand tight to his body, so it may still have a little bit of pain in that left arm. First down from the 3-yard line. And the give is to Taylor, opening for a touchdown. Taylor's first touchdown run of the game. And it's now a 2-score game for the Cooper Hawks as we're in the just starting the fourth quarter. Keith, just good blocking and
downhill blocking here, getting off the ball, following his lead back, walking into the end zone.
The lead back didn't even have to put a hit on anyone.
He just called him right behind there.
They could probably try the same play here. Oh, this is Howard, and Howard gets into the end. Again, Duncan Rayner, the only Oriole on that play, and there's no way he had the speed to stay up with Howard.
Again, we're talking about that outside containment. If you see everybody sucks in, you got one guy out there trying to get him, and that just doesn't work.
This is a really, as we mentioned, a really good Cooper team coming into this game 3-1 and really almost 4-0 after losing 34-30 to Chanhassen, and they played them tough. And I thought Cooper's actually maybe going to come away with a win there, but Chanhassen winning that game, and we knew that Cooper would be out to try and revenge that loss, and playing a good game. We can see the speed of Cooper when players get into the open field, and I think St. Louis Park has done a really good job to stay in this game and just not finishing up on their drives, as the coach said.
And St. Louis Park has happened to have the opportunity on offense, but haven't converted on those opportunities. They kind of keep their defense off the field just a little bit to get those guys a break.
Marshall end-over-end kick. And the Orioles will start from the 30. Good tackle. Stafford, always hard to bring down, but brought down at the 30.
So big offensive series for St. Louis Park here, Bruce.
Empty backfield. Pressure by Cooper. Throw, and it's intercepted. Ethan White.
And again, just another underthrown ball by Logan there. Very underthrown ball. And I don't know if it's because that shoulders bother him, that elbows bother him.
Yeah, he seemed to, when he came off the field, I know disappointed in the throw, but also seems to be favoring that arm. So now the Hawks from the 45. Howard eludes a tackle, gets into the Orioles secondary, around the end, and he could go. Howard sidesteps along the sideline in for a touchdown. So this one getting out of hand now.
Wow. And tiptoeing down the sidelines and stay in bounds. What a play. Good job, Cooper.
How quick it turned into from a one-score game now, and Cooper is gaining the momentum.
Again, Bruce, that's what we talked about earlier. You know, this defense is tired, you know. They've been on the field a lot this game. Again, that's what we talked about earlier, is the offense trying to make something happen just to give the defense a little bit of breather. They go right back on the field, and bad things happen.
One play, interception, and they're back on the field. You're right, Keith. Howard, wide open in the end zone. Is that Marshall? Nope.
Smith, number 34.
So it's quieted down on the sidelines here. Katia?
Yeah, they're looking pretty defeated over here. We're actually seeing some of the fans trickling out. They really got to pick up their momentum. Game's not over.
Yeah, and St. Louis Park has not had really one of these games. They've at least in their last 3 games, they've been the dominant team in their last 2 games at least, and so again for St. Louis Park, it's just keep your heads up, go back to the basics, and just try and work your way back into this game.
Yeah, and that Fridley game that they lost to, it was a really close game. They were in it pretty much the whole time. So this is something where they really just got to work on their self-esteem.
And again, the big thing that we talked about earlier, Bruce, after this kickoff return, is keeping the offense on the field and sustaining the drive and letting your defense get their feet back underneath them. That's the biggest part of this game right now, going on right now.
Well, and we'll see how Romero rebounds after that interception.
Smith's coming off. He's looking like he's holding that right elbow as well.
Yeah, we see Smith dangling that right arm. Hopefully just the funny bone. So they go with the screen pass, and this is Stafford. And you have to give Cooper a lot of credit right now defending on that. Keith, you've gone quiet on me.
I thought it was a face mask with Stafford, the guy. If you look at here, when he goes down, when Stafford got up, not too happy about that.
Or a horse collar.
Yeah, horse collar.
And Romero.
And Romero takes another shot.
Yeah, so the Orioles now leaving themselves a 3rd down long.
And I don't necessarily know if you want to, put Romero in this situation with that arm situation right now and put them in a 3rd and 12 like this. So again, see if they can sustain this drive. It's going to be a huge 3rd down for these guys.
And Stafford in the backfield. Romero under pressure.
That's a face mask.
Yeah, and that time Romero sort of, instead of taking it to the near side, he turned back the other way, but you're right, face mask in St. Louis Park will get a 1st down. Romero's taking a beating here in the second half.
Yeah, and the offensive line got to straighten their blocks like they were doing earlier. They're letting these defensive linemen get through here, and that's just, you know, it makes it a long night for your quarterback, and he can only take so many shots like that.
15-yard penalty. Brings us to 3rd and 2.
So it's not an automatic first. Third down, 3 yards to go. Here's Smith. Nice move.
Move by Smith.
Yeah, Smith does not get that first down if he doesn't make that great cut to the inside.
Nice move by Smith. Nice pass by Romero.
So St. Louis Park across midfield now to the Cooper 45-yard line. They send Micah Howard to the left side, Benny to the near side, along with Smith, who starts in motion. See if they throw to Smith, and pass just thrown a little bit in front. Smith didn't have a chance to turn upfield on that one. You see, he was still running lateral, the timing off. As
Ball's
Smith,
just a little short.
and it may be a good thing, too, because the defender was right there on the play. Smith comes off to the sidelines, and Micah Howard on the near side, Benny on the far. Back to pass, thrown, and almost intercepted. That pass just too high for the intended receiver that time, number 14, Austin Nelson. Seems like a couple of those are getting away from Romero, who we've seen fairly accurate at times over the the last game we did, and this time he's a little too much on a few of those balls. I think we have a timeout, St. Louis Park. I think that was called from the coaching staff on the sideline.
Yeah. I think Smith came in the game.
Well, for St. Louis Park now, they're really in 4-down territory.
Yep. And this is where the offensive line really, Bruce right now has to man up, and pick up these defensive linemen who's going to be getting pressure on Romero in the second half of this ball game.
October 10th, 7 p.m.
Second home game for St. Louis Park this year. St. Louis Park only has 3 home games this year.
Oh, wow.
So I believe their next game is on the road against St. Paul Harding. I was noticing no Chaska or Chan on the schedule, so it looks like some of the other games St. Louis Park does have a great opportunity to put another few W's on the board.
Good.
Romero steps up in the pocket,
wide open.
And it's caught. This is Micah Howard.
Wow,
streaking down the middle of the field.
Great job, Romero. Nice job. Offensive line picks him up. Great block, I think, by number 64. He had a guy coming off the edge. Picked him up. Nice pass by Logan. Touchdown by Micah. If you can see this play again, we got this defensive end coming hard off the edge. He gets picked up. A nice play.
How great is that for Romero's confidence after?
Watch this guy coming right here. Number 64 picks him up because he's the only guy to give to Logan. Nice job.
So we saw Howard with a 45-yard run for Cooper, and now Howard for the Orioles with a 45-yard reception. So a couple 45-yard scores. Man, the Orioles will line up, go for 2. one-on-one on the far side. Rolling is Romero, looking to the far side. Throws and incomplete.
And again, they sustained the drive, scored some points, gave defense a little bit of a rest. Now hopefully that'll help them out a little bit.
30-12 the score. Katia, have we seen a little more life in the crowd there?
You know, we did on that last play, but unfortunately, most of the student section has dipped out, but there's a few faithful.
Katia, you were supposed to put a rope around that section.
I know. Tangle them with my microphone, right?
See what they missed?
You going this way?
Again, the Orioles, you know, when you're trailing by this much, you're just looking for some good things to happen,
Yeah.
Keith, and you're not going to get, you know, you're not going to get all those points.
They're
back
not in this
one
game
time.
yet.
Right. Baby steps.
Inches the way back into this game. Now need another defensive stance by these guys.
This is Marshall. Marshall to the 43.
Marshall on the return for the Hawks.
And I noticed something different. We had number 32 kicking. Number 68 is not kicking this game.
Yeah, that was one change that we had mentioned earlier, that Malik Graves was getting an opportunity to kick, and you know, we noticed Warner struggling to get the ball up in the air the last time with a lot of squib kicks and get it downfield, and this time they like to go with Graves. So it was a good return by Marshall, setting up Cooper with great field position on their own 41. I think we're going to see a lot of Taylor here. Oh, there's Howard. Keith, that's where you can see St. Louis Park. Right. I mean, that play took a long time to develop. It was sort of a delayed fake handoff there. And St. Louis Park really unable to get on the outside. And you mentioned, I think, the
edges.
Linebackers not staying on the edge there.
You know, you got that. Again, that's the one thing that you teach these outside linebackers in ends these days is to stay on the edge and not get sucked in. Because, again, now that was the quarterback, fake quarterback draw to the running back. They get on the outside, make a big play.
That has taken Howard over 100 yards rushing in this game. So Keith, number 9, Jordan Brown, we saw him in the game a little earlier when Howard came out of the game, and now Brown having an opportunity to run the team.
Brings up 2nd and 5 for the Hawks.
Derek Williams also in the backfield now for the Hawks. Taylor. Stacked up for a very short game.
And I think what Cooper's trying to do is just eat at this clock by running the ball and seeing if the Orioles can stop him.
Keith, the Orioles have done a good job keeping Taylor to about 5 yards per game this game. Oh! That play was almost taken for
pick six.
Yeah. Devendra Boodram had a great jump on that ball and wishes he could have had one more step on that one.
He's looking at his gloves right now, saying, how didn't I catch that ball?
He's looking back there saying, all I see is green in front of me. Again, that was the first pass attempted by Brown. And now Taylor On 4th down, gets a first down, and he could go. Breaks a tackle,
Wow,
gets
can
inside
this kid run?
the 15 down to the 10.
First down, Hawks.
How fast is this kid?
He looks a little bit tired now. He's trying to catch his breath. So both Howard and Taylor are over 100 yards rushing. There's Taylor again. And for his size, he is strong as he takes it all the way in the end zone.
And again, it's one of those running backs that you see that keeps his feet turning, and he's such a small, squatty guy that's it's hard to tackle him, and it's hard to see him, and hard to stop him when he's running that fast and that hard. Great run by Taylor.
36th point of the game for the Hawks. Definitely can see the defense is tiring as this game's going.
Oh, yeah.
Some of that could be attributed to the warmer temperatures too tonight. Alonzo Holly.
The Hawks was a 2-point conversion.
(38-12). It's been all Cooper here in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
(21 carries for 125 yards for Taylor in this game. Well, they give it to Stafford. Stafford's like, maybe not now.
Stafford on the return. First down, Orioles.
So St. Louis Park will have the ball on the 14-yard line. 6:50 to go in this game, trailing 38-12. Got the 24-yard line. Romero back to pass, throws over the middle, and Howard had the opportunity there, incomplete.
I think this is going to be a pass.
Throw a little bit behind him.
Pass intended for Howard.
A personal foul, late hit on the quarterback. Roughing the passer.
So there we see Romero after he got rid of the ball.
It's a stupid play by Cooper. He up this much in the ball game.
Keith Romero in this game is 7 of 18. So he came into the game completing 54% of his passes, and now he's well below that percentage. Speaking of a tough night for a quarterback, Cousins really struggled last night.
Yeah, no kidding. 4 INTs in the second half of the football game.
False start on the Orioles.
Five-yard penalty marked off against St. Louis Park, so it's at the 34-yard line. Stafford and Smith to the near side. Looks over the middle, and it's intercepted. This could go for 7. One guy to beat, and Romero makes the tackle. as the ball was intercepted by number 32.
Andre Jackson.
Adrian Jackson, yep.
And this is a rough night for St. Louis Park tonight.
Yeah. Third interception. And pass was intended for Austin Nelson over the middle.
And now it looks like we'll see some of the backups come in for Cooper, Taylor, and Howard done for the evening.
Well, you can see, too, the St. Louis Park defense just really not playing like they did in the first half and wearing down.
And again, Bruce, what you got to do is go back and look at the film and look how much defense was actually on the field tonight, which shows what's a big chunk of this ball game, and they're just tired.
I think it's a good point, Keith, when you look at time of possession.
Absolutely.
And Derek Williams with the touchdown.
But again, what you're seeing here again is what we talked about again, is this outside containment thing. They're running sweeps and counters, and they're just not staying outside and making plays on the outside, which is killing them on those edges right now, Bruce.
St. Louis Park playing a very good Cooper team. Well balanced offensively and defensively.
Nice tackle by Stafford on the quarterback option.
44-12 the score. Again, it was
14-6 at halftime.
Halftime, yeah. A lot of the scoring, I know 3 of the touchdowns have come here in the fourth quarter, I think.
Marshall to kick for the Hawks. Smith and Stafford back to receive for the Orioles.
And the kick by Marshall. Fielded by Smith. That was a tough one to field. He did a good job. 25-yard line for Smith. Trying to elude the tackle, but the special teams coverage unit for Cooper has done a good job all game and stacked up Smith at the 25-yard line. Handoff, Lawson tries to stay on his feet as he goes down at the 35. That's one where you're off balance. You see that opening and you're saying, "Come on, just get back on my feet." Clock continues to run. 5:45 to go. And the Orioles going to keep it on the ground a little bit more now. Clock not really a factor when you're down by 32 points in the fourth quarter. So.
No.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Right now in these games, you just want to make sure you don't have any injuries at the end of this type of game. First down for the Orioles.
Smith on the carry for the Orioles.
Guys, when you're looking up at the stands, are you seeing any areas that the Orioles can break away on the offense, or are they just too contained right now?
You know, well, right now they should take their backups for Cooper are in the game right now, so this is where they should be trying to take advantage of the backups. But it seems like they're just playing a contained game right now.
Option play, and the keeper by Romero. Bounced off one player and gets to the 42. Cody, it seems like a lot of action has not been in your end here.
You know, it's getting kind of lonely over here.
I don't know if they're afraid you're going to step on the field and make a tackle. Well, there's maybe a hold on St. Louis Park.
And right now, you don't know if coach has lost confidence in Romero right now, seeing that there's 3 interceptions in the game and he doesn't want to give it back to Cooper. You just never know at this point.
Be interesting to know too if Romero, is still in the game, and I don't know. It just looks like his left arm is not.
Yeah.
If you notice when he's running, he's not really moving his left arm that much. So he may be playing in a lot of pain and causing that to take him off his game a little bit too.
Who is their backup?
Again, Romero's a sophomore, and it's a good learning experience for him. He's been an outstanding quarterback, and I'm excited what the future has to hold for that guy.
Yeah, and at what point do you take Romero out when you're down by this much to kind of preserve that arm even more?
Who is St. Louis Park backup is the question.
That is the question of the night.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
I think it's Stewart, number 4, the freshman.
Yeah, I do believe. I believe at the homecoming game that was who went in that blowout win.
It's like, do you go from back?
Right, and he's not warming up, but here's Romero reversing the field, looks behind him, now cuts up the middle, and he's going to have a first down.
Romero on the carry for the Orioles.
Keeping the drive alive.
It was sort of funny that time Romero actually turned his head all the way behind him. Take a look at Romero here. There he goes. From midfield. Romero, his time. Throws behind Lawson that time. Just a little bit off on those throws to the flat. We saw Smith not able to turn upfield to catch the ball, and this time Lawson out in the sort of that same territory. Sometimes it's just the timing off just a little bit, Keith.
Yep. As when you see on the other side, Cooper ran that same flat play. The timing was there. It was good.
Tips in near side, back to pass. Wide open was Lawson, and the pass was short.
And again, you see Romero dangling that arm. I don't know if,
Brings up 3rd and 10.
and if you watch him after this throw, Bruce, and he throws his ball, and he comes walking over, it's just something that he doesn't have on that arm. And see how he's just dangling that arm there.
Got to give him a lot of credit, though. He's hanging in there.
Oh, yeah.
2:44 remaining. 3rd down and long. Run a screen. This is Stafford. Stafford. Well, you need about 6 guys to bring Stafford down, and that's where it finally happened.
Another guy not giving up, running hard, doing what he has to do.
Yeah, Trenton Stafford, we've been so impressed with him this year and how valuable he is to this team. Benny and Stafford to the near side. And the give is Lawson. Breaks one tackle. Lawson into the secondary. Has a first down as he fights his way towards the 10-yard line. Should mention too that Cooper probably does have some backups in here on the defensive end. Give Coach Willie Howard his hand here, as he's done really a good job with this Cooper team, preparing them for this game and not taking St. Louis Park lightly after St. Louis Park with a couple nice victories in their last 2 games.
Yeah.
Orioles water boy struggling getting off the field there.
Exactly.
Orioles like to see if they can get in the end zone here. Oh, Lawson.
Oh, lost his footing.
I think Lawson may have had 6 there, but just tripped up. Minute 24 to go. Looks like Romero's audibling out of that play. And gives to Lawson again, who's very close to the end zone and is in.
For a touchdown. At least if you're going to finish on a positive note.
Again, a lot of fight in the St. Louis Park Oriole team. They don't give up. And
nice ground and pound. Nice job at the offensive line, getting them in the end zone.
Here's where the Orioles have struggled this season, is that 2-point conversion. You need to come up with that play that well, they don't have anyone by the ball. Not enough players on the field. Timeout, Cooper.
Timeout, Cooper Hawks.
One of those trick plays or where you're lining up there. (44-18) our score. We're down to minute 9 to go. St. Louis Park talking it over. Coming up with a play here for the 2-point conversion.
If I'm looking at this play, Bruce, I'm trying to give it to my man Stafford.
Really spread out. All your blockers far left of the football. This is what you call
screenplay.
Wide open in the end zone.
Hey, 2-point conversion. What do you know? They did have it in.
Kaplan for the 2-point conversion.
Valley Kaplan getting the catch and the 2-point conversion. And St. Louis Park has hit 20. Looks a little better.
Yes.
44-20.
Exactly. Again, if you're going to finish, even if you lose, finish on a positive note. They'll go for an onside kick.
Might as well, right? Got to practice things in this situation. And got the hands team for Cooper up close. You can see Marshall standing at the 50-yard line. So,
yeah, at least a little pooch up in the air.
I say you give it to Warner, let him kick it really hard through that front line. It's going to bounce off someone. Arza Pooch put a good job by Cooper fielding the football, and they'll have it at the 42-yard line and can run out the clock. St. Louis Park with 2 timeouts left. But
Marshall on the return for the Hawks.
Keith, I think, you know, as Cooper really dominated this game, really the first half was not that dominant. I thought thought St. Louis Park, we saw a couple shoestring tackles where St. Louis Park really had that opportunity almost to tie that football game up if it wasn't for a couple players just, you know.
Again, what you've seen in the first half from these guys that they adjusted to was just missed tackles, you know. Missed tackles and outside containment. Other than that, they were in this ball game the whole entire time. And then Cooper somehow opened up a whole new box of something and came after him.
It's that Wheaties in the locker room. Well, they didn't even go in the locker room. They stayed out on the field, but looks like a penalty against St. Louis Park's going to march them in the wrong direction for about 15 yards here. Again, it's a beautiful night for football, and St. Louis Park, again, we've seen still a lot of signs of improvement by this Oriole team. Even though they're getting blown out by a tough Cooper team, they've, you know, we've seen a poised St. Louis Park team, a team that could have had their heads down at the end, but are still able to come up with a couple touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And
everything's a learning experience. Again, they're still a young team. Everything's a learning experience with the young quarterback. They come back next week, make the adjustment that they need to make, come out with a victory, hopefully.
Handoff up the middle. Look out.
Arm tackles, arm tackles, arm tackles. Drives me crazy as a coach.
For Cooper, that was number 20, C.J. Adams. And hopefully Cooper will just let the clock go here.
Brought down by Kaplan for the Orioles.
I think a good move by the Cooper coaching staff to pull him back here.
A classy act. That's a class act.
It's a tough loss for St. Louis Park, but again, a lot of credit goes to Willie Howard and the Cooper Hawks. They played an outstanding game, made adjustments at halftime, and really poured it on against St. Louis Park. Tired them out, and a couple of turnovers really turned into quick touchdowns for Cooper.
Again, and those quick touchdowns that they got again was because I say that's from the defense just being tired, you know, because they just weren't off the field enough, and the offense just didn't stay enough drives to keep the defense off the field. So, you know, you can't put everything on the defense. You got to look at the offense and say we got to sustain drives in order to keep our legs fresh and to keep us going in this game, especially against the Armstrong Cooper team like this with so many athletes and so much speed on that team, Bruce.
Well, hopefully for St. Louis Park, they've come out of this game fairly injury-free. It's going to be interesting to see Logan Romero, what really transpired there with his arm. Hopefully just a little bit of a stinger that he can go back and get to practice this week. Katia, we'll see if maybe you have an opportunity to just get an update on the quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if Coach has a couple minutes after the game as well.
Final statistics for Romero. He ends the game 9 of 23, 113 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Leading rusher for St. Louis Park was Stafford, had 79. Lawson was 77. Romero was 66. So the Orioles still, Keith, put up 226 yards on the ground. So leading receiver for St. Louis Park. looks like Howard had the 45-yard touchdown, and Walsh had 4 for 42. So what's that, Mark? Stafford? Oh, 4 for 42 is Stafford. So thanks, Mark. Then for Cooper, their quarterback Howard had a nice game, 10 of 18 throwing, 152 yards and a touchdown. Running, Taylor, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns. Howard, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Williams, 9-yard touchdown run. Is that 242 yards rushing, Mark? 270 total. Maybe 270 yards. Again, wow. I want to thank Mark Williams for a lot of yards to compile here, and he did a great job tonight. Hall with 51-yard and a touchdown, and Marshall 26 yards and a touchdown. Thought Marshall may have been a bigger factor on that offense, but no. After the first quarter, they seemed shut him down a little bit. So Orioles are meeting on their end. I'm not sure if we'll have time to do an interview here. Keith, you've had an opportunity to coach your team, and you're 4-0, so you haven't really been in this situation, but put yourself into this situation, and you know, just really getting the confidence back in your team, you know, and say, you know, this again, a tough team they played, a Cooper team. You can't keep, you know, have your heads down. You got to just say, okay, you know, we took it on the chin, and how do you get back and get them going again?
Adjustments. You just make adjustments. Go back and watch the film, and go back and look at the mistakes that you made and what we talked about earlier, the outside linebackers, the containment, defensive end, and make the adjustments that you need to make to make yourself better for the next game. Everything's not going to go your way, but going through the game tape, and especially for the defense, going over the film, watching the mistakes that you made, making the adjustments for the next team that you make, and just come out a better team.
We saw the Orioles have success with Stafford running the ball, and you know, probably didn't see him maybe get the ball as much as they could have. But the play that really they struggled with was that end around with Smith.
And here's the thing: as a coach, and Smith is a young player, a sophomore. As a running back coach and as a former running back, and what I was taught is I always want to keep my feet going north and south. And that's what he has to learn how to start doing. Because when he doesn't do that, he gets in a negative situation. So that's what we want to do.
All right, Katia, you have Coach Wolf.
I do. Coach, tough loss. What positives can we take from tonight to move on into the next week and into next game?
Well, definitely the first half we competed with them. We knew they were an athletic team, a good team, and we competed with them at times. We just gave up too many big plays and didn't finish on drives, didn't finish getting the ball in the end zone enough times, and that's really where it's at. So definitely stuff to build on. We'll get over this loss and move on to the next game.
Katia, can you check on Romero?
Yeah. Is there an update on Romero? It looked like he was holding his left elbow a lot.
I think his non-throwing elbow got a little banged up, but I think he's all right. He kept in there. He's a tough kid. He'll be all right.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Katia. Sorry to interrupt there. I just wanted to see if we could get that answer from, and I think you probably would have figured that one, gotten that one anyway. So.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Katia. Appreciate all your help down on the sidelines.
Yes.
So on behalf of Katia Dragotis and Keith Williams, I'm Bruce Oberman. Final score here from St. Louis Park, Robbinsdale Cooper 44, St. Louis Park 20. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great night.